two things that I'm going to talk about in this video is the reason why 90% of people are overweight. Now, for a lot of people, food is quite literally the best part of their day. Now, if you tell them, stop eating that shit and just eat real food, it's not really going to be that helpful to the main source of their problem. This is how a lot of people's lives work. They get up in the morning and they head out to a job that they cannot stand. Then they head out to a job that they hate all day because society has said to them that you need to go out, you need to earn a certain amount of money, and this is the particular jobs in society that make you a successful person, and that earning lots of money is the most important thing, and actually your happiness and enjoyment of the job doesn't really matter. You're late again, Melanie. Dick. And yes, money does bring happiness. Try living without any money and it's going to make life stressful and life hard. But there's a difference between money bringing you happiness and doing a job that you completely hate for money that also makes you unhappy. So you hate your job, or maybe your boss is a dick. You don't mind your job and what you do for a career and a living, but the workplace that you're currently in doesn't really make you that happy because of the people that you are surrounded by. Then, because you hate your job and a good chunk of your day and about 80% of your week is spent at work, well, chances are it's going to get you down and you're going to end up pretty miserable. But hey, pays the bills, right? Now you come home from the job you hate, walk through the door, and you're also in a relationship that you hate as well. Alright? Alright. For whatever reason, it could be because you're a miserable fucker all the time because you hate your job. Could also be because they hate their job too. It could be a financial issue, or it could simply be that you've both grown apart and actually you hate each other, which is likely also to be linked to everything else that I've previously mentioned. Now, here comes the real problem. So you've decided, you've put on a little bit of timber and you want to go on a diet. The problem is you can only ever stick to that diet for a couple of weeks or so before you end up giving up. Now, this right here is what we're going to call the fuck it meter, which also represents your daily willpower. Now, you've only got so much of this energy to use up in a day. Now, if you've got kids, they're going to take up a certain amount of your energy. No matter how good or how bad your kids are, how much you love them, being a parent generally is quite tough. And it takes an awful lot of energy to sustain parenting. Then you've got work. So let's say you completely hate your job, maybe your boss is a dick, maybe you just don't like the career path you've chosen because you were sold that dream by society that this is the avenue you have to go down to be a success. Maybe you don't earn enough money doing what you do. Maybe you earn enough money but your job makes you miserable. Now this is going to take up an awful big chunk of that daily energy and that willpower from that fuck it energy bar. Then you come home after having a really crap day at work, hating a good chunk of your day, questioning a lot of life's choices, and then you come home to your partner where maybe they're in a mood because they feel exactly the same way, and if you come home every day and you hate your job, chances are that's going to reflect how you are as a person and the mood you're in. Now you come home to deal with all of that crap as well, and really try and refrain from walking out the door. Now that too is going to use a lot of energy. So what energy do you then have left to put into your diet and working on yourself? If you want to lose that timber, you know you're going to have to restrict some calories, you're going to have to potentially cut down or maybe even cut out on some foods that you really enjoy, that taste good, that actually make you feel good. You've got hardly any of that energy left. You've used all of that willpower for all of these other things throughout the day. So now, when it's 7 p.m, you've got home from work and you're thinking, right, now I need to go to the gym. This is if your partner even allows you to go to the gym. You're just not going to have the willpower to go, screw it, I'm going to the gym. Instead, you're going to think, No, I'm going to sit on the sofa, I'm going to binge watch Netflix, and I'm going to pop open a packet of crisps. Problem is, at the moment, you don't have any energy left to focus on your diet and to focus on yourself because you've used it on every other area of your life. And at the moment, your diet and food currently is the only thing that you get any enjoyment out of in your day. Now, this is the cycle a lot of people get stuck in. The reason you overconsume calories and processed foods a lot of the time is because so many other areas of your life make you unhappy, and that is the only area of your life where you find any enjoyment. Now, I'm not a life coach, marriage counsellor, financial advisor, anything like that. I'm just somebody that helps people lose weight. And these are quite often the common scenarios you find people in. But if you are overweight, and you do hate your job, and you are in a relationship that you are unhappy in, then those are the two things that you need to tackle first before you can then start to focus on trying to go on a diet. Because the reason you can only ever go on a diet for a couple of weeks and not stick to it because, it's going really well during the week, then the weekend comes along and you get that kind of escapism feeling where you want to escape your reality at the weekends. And that's where all the food, the drinking, going out for meals comes into play, and you're just never going to get to your results. And yes, there is an argument that if you started to focus on yourself more, focus on your diet and exercise more, it would most likely improve those other two things. You would potentially start to enjoy your job more, maybe become better at it. Your relationship would improve because you are a happier person. And if you are a happier person, then you are bringing more happiness into that relationship. And the other person may feel that, and that might find some benefit. But when you are stuck in that rut, actually getting to that point of being able to focus on your diet and force yourself to go and exercise is very difficult. You see, a relationship is two people that should work on themselves at making themselves happy, and then they come together to share that happiness. It is not their duty or your duty to make the other person happy. They can be a part of what makes you happy. However, it is your sole duty to go away and do the work, to work on yourself, to make yourself feel better about yourself, so that then you could be part of that relationship and come into that relationship as a happier version of yourself. I don't believe that it's someone else's duty to make you happy. So to wrap it up, it's not just that you need to eat real food, or you just need to be in a deficit, or you just need to go out and exercise. There is quite often a lot more of an underlying problem as to why someone can't stick to those things. So have a chat with your partner, try and sort that thing out. And if that doesn't work, then maybe it is time to move on in search of your own happiness. And in terms of work, maybe it's time to jack that in, look for a new job, or possibly even a new career. Then, once you've done those things, you can finally start to go on that diet and start to lose weight. Why do you think it's always the case when people come out of a relationship and all of a sudden then they go and lose a load of weight? Because they found the time to be able to focus on themselves. Yeah, maybe there is a little bit of they want to make the other person think, look at what you're missing, and also maybe you think a smaller version of yourself is more attractive to go and find someone else. But there's also an element of you're probably happier, so you find it easier to do the things you need to do to focus on yourself. If you found this video useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next one.